Isekai, a genre of anime that a majority of anime fans have familiarized themselves with. We all get the gist. Some NEET dies and gets reincarnated into a magic world with abilities far superior than what they deserve. From there, they'll usually be given an overarching goal that they try to achieve throughout the series, such as defeating the Demon Lord. But, you know what a majority of anime fans haven't watched? Good Isekai. Impossible! You probably say to yourself, all Isekai is good, it's the pinnacle of story writing. Who wouldn't want to watch the same show with a different gimmick each time? Now, usually this is the part of the video that I say, well, this anime is different. But in reality, while this show might fall into the same issues that other shows do, it is probably the best isekai in recent memory. Introducing to you all, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Mushoku Tensei starts off like a lot of the shows within its genre, with a truck. Afterwards, our protagonist is reborn as a child to an adventurer and a knight. And from there, we follow him throughout his journey in his new life, learning about the new world he's been born into. From the language to the magic, it's a whole new world. Pretty bare bone, right? I mean, where's the twist? Where's the gimmick? Does he have any special abilities? Can he rewind time? Did he come out of his mother's vagina with a smartphone? Nope. All he retained was his memories from his past life, but besides that, nothing. He had to grow up, learn the language, and study and practice just like everyone else. Albeit with a major advantage considering he's a grown man in the body of a child. But if I had to be honest, for whatever reason, it doesn't come off as cheap and actually adds to richness to the story. Unlike other isekais where they're usually targeted at socially inadept teenagers like myself, the show can handle pretty mature topics at times like bullying and sex, yet maintain the colorful, cheerful, and at times questionable story. It really is a nice mix, with no one tone being too overbearing. Now, just because our main character is reborn to a new person doesn't mean they are a new person. They still are the same old loser they were in their previous life, and Mushoku Tensei really honors that. It's not that often in an isekai where you'll see the main character suffer from issues that affected them in their previous life tackled so well, and that really feeds into the overall message the series is really trying to bleed, which is live proactively. Constantly, the main character is confronted with issues and insecurities that plagued him in his previous life, and he tries to not repeat the same mistakes in his new life. And despite it being an isekai, which is usually mistaken for only being about power, fantasy, action-filled adventures, the mood for Mushoku Tensei is more like a calm breeze with bursts of thunderstorms. You aren't here to watch some kid defeat some overpowered, overhyped main villain, nor are you here to watch a twist on the isekai formula. You're here to watch a guy grow up and overcome some trauma with a bit of beautiful action in between. And while the show does set a big focus on the main character, it is not slack on the other parts that make it a great story. The world in which the main character and we the audience are placed in together is a world that doesn't feel like a scene. What do I mean by that? Have you ever had that moment in a video game where you were extremely immersed in the gameplay, world, and story, and in those moments that you were playing the game, you felt like it was a real place? But then you suddenly bug out, or no clip out of the map, or a loading screen appears, and you remember that the game is simply a game, and if you were to stop playing, the world wouldn't continue on without you? Well, in anime, it's a bit different. And Mushoku Tensei is a great example of that. The characters and world are intertwined and you feel like the characters themselves have life in them, that they have their own hardships and challenges along the way to get to where they are now. In a sense, the majority of the characters could have stories of their own, and that feeling in a story is great. It adds to the story's complexity. From the different fighters, from mages to swordsmen, from different levels of skill within those classes, from noble families, political struggles, different kingdoms. It's a real breathing world, and it's great to see. Now, besides the story itself being really well written, this show is beautiful, and I mean very, very pretty. You would never expect a studio with no prior work behind them to make something so damn beautiful. The animation flows well, it sounds great, the quality is there, and this show is an amazing addition to the 2021 winter anime season and overall a great show. Sure, maybe I wouldn't watch this with grandma, but it's one of those shows where you binge the entire season within one sitting, and afterwards you're left with a gaping emptiness because it was that good. You should watch it, it'll be a fun experience.